You're watching Let's with Ayuma. Hey, I'm Ayuma Michelle and welcome to Let's with Ayuma. This is an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women from all around the world, just like you and I, to thrive with purpose, okay? So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to stop being a fan and stand in your light. How to stop being a fan, ladies. Enough is enough about just being a fan. You know, it's time to stand and to step into your own light. But you know what time it is? If you've been following this channel, if you like my content so far, and you've been following my channel for quite some time, please, it's time for us to become family. Please consider subscribing so that the next time a new video comes up, you won't need to look for me all over the internet streets. The notification will simply come up and you'll probably see my video, okay? And welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining my channel. Thank you so much for helping me build this amazing community of women who are progressive, they're purpose driven, and who want to see themselves grow, okay? And if you do have a friend, right? If you do have a friend who needs this type of content, because we are abundance mindset women, when you grow, you also want your circle of women to grow, please share with them this video, okay? And please consider watching this video and watch another one. And if you dig my content, subscribe, okay? So, as I'd mentioned before, on today's video, I'm going to talk about how to stop being a fan and stand in your light. How to stand in your light, ladies. This life is not a rehearsal. This life is not for another person. You're living this life for you, okay? So enough is enough about just being a fan of other people and what they're doing and a fan of ideas, but it's time for you to stand in your light. That's what this video is about, okay? And we're going to get deep into it. But before that, I'd like to share with you a deep quote that actually inspired this video and has actually been inspiring my journey as a storyteller, as a businesswoman, as a woman. This far that I have come in my career, I realized that the more and more I delved deep in being authentically myself, that's when I was able to actually succeed in a very unique way. That's when I was able to attract very unique opportunities just for me. And I think that's actually how we're supposed to be living. You're not supposed to be trying to be like somebody else. You should be trying to compete with the very best version of yourself. I think that's what should be encouraging us to wake up every day and be better. Not to be better than other people, but to be better than the person you were yesterday. Okay? So this quote is by Nichols. She's a transformation coach and actually one of the best transformation coaches in the world. And I really identify with her story, not only because she truly came from a very dark place in her life. She wrestled with some things that I also wrestled with in my life, but also her life is barely recognizable. And the best thing to experience from a coach is to realize that they have been transformed themselves and they are offering you lessons and principles from the personal transformation that they went through. So I really love Nichols also because she's a Black woman, and I really identify with her story and that she was able to rise up and build her brand to become this globally recognized brand just by being herself and by sharing her story and by sharing the principles, the gifts, the lessons, you know, the precious gems that came out of her story. And that's why I just really like her, because she promises the same transformation. She promises the same principles of transformation that she herself went through. So this is what her quote, this is a quote, one of my favorite quotes from her. She said that you make me extraordinary to let yourself off the hook. Right? Let me repeat that again. You make me extraordinary to let yourself off the hook. So what this quote means is that many times we like making other people look so super extraordinary, so far away from that kind of success, just so that we can let ourselves off the hook from doing the exact same thing. This is an example. Oftentimes I meet women who've experienced or listened to my talks, right? My keynote speeches, or they've interacted with some of my content, like my YouTube videos, and they're like, oh, Ayuma, you're such a natural storyteller. Oh, some of us don't have that gift. Oh, some of us have to struggle. Oh, some of us are too talkative. Oh, some of us are XYZ, fill in the blank. So that they say, you're just so lucky that you're able to speak so well like that. But listen, I have gotten this far because I have put in work on my gifts. Yes, I have some natural gifts of connecting with people. I have a natural gift of storytelling. But if I just depended on that natural gift, plain and simple, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today, right? And where I will be in future, because what you see now, the Ayuma you see now, is nothing compared to the Ayuma I see myself and I am working towards becoming, okay? So oftentimes women come and tell me, oh Ayuma, you're so lucky, you just have this natural gift. Oh, you're an extrovert, so it probably makes it easy for you to talk in front of people. They come up with all manner of excuses. Yes, in coaching we call that excuses. They come up with all manner of excuses to make me super extraordinary, to cut them off the hook, to let themselves off the hook from doing the things that is required, doing the things that are required for them to get to the same place. Because I'm a human being. I am not a god. I'm not a superhuman. I simply worked on crafting my gift. I worked on being better and better and better than the last performance, than the last keynote, than the last talk I presented. I keep listening to critique and also criticism so that I can sieve out the lessons and I can work on becoming better. I listen to myself and I keep saying, okay, how can I make this speech better? How can I deliver this point faster? Or do I need to slow down a bit so that the audience savors a little bit on this point before I bring the point home, before I bring the next point home. That's what I keep doing. And when you see me producing these YouTube videos, this is a way for me to keep practicing, for my next keynote, and the different topics that I keep challenging myself to talk about. This is part of me challenging myself to actually keep talking, keep sharing, keep practicing how I deliver certain points. This is part of me working on myself and crafting that, because consistency plus action plus focus equals to success and purpose. When you add purpose to that equation, it then builds significance. Okay? And so many of us actually live life as fans of other people. Many of us live our lives as fans of other people and the great people around us, right? Whether you see them on TV or you see them in your actual life or you see them on social media, many of us are living out our lives as fans. And that actually means you're living life as a second-class citizen in your own life. You should actually be like, wait, look at this Ayuma I'm going to become. That is the person I'm looking to become. I'm not looking to become like Oprah. I'm not looking to become like Lisa Nichols. I'm not looking to become like, Michelle Obama, some of these women or Mo Abudu from Nigeria, who I seriously admire. But I am not choosing to be, when I wake up, I'm not choosing to be her fan. I'm choosing to be the next best Ayuma ever. So instead of people challenging themselves to actually do the work, to get to where they see me, standing on these stages, communicating so clearly and with some kind of ease, and that ease comes out of practice, ladies. Ease comes out of practice. My clients will tell you how many times I say the word practice, 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 practice. That ease comes out of practice and consistency, and don't ever put another human being on a pillar. Don't ever put another human being on a pillar, because you're putting them on a place that you too can be. right? Once you put somebody else on a pillar, it means you're making them super extraordinary and unreachable. You know, you're making that a level or a level or what is it called, like a stage in life that you can't reach. Yet you can. You just need to put in the work, you know, and you need to be consistent, you know. So never make another human being extraordinary for something that you very well know that you can do, you know. So here are 3 ways in which you can step into your light, you know. I don't know where the number 5 came from, but here are 3 simple ways. Simple but not easy, right? There's a difference between simple and easy. These are the 3 ways in which you can actually start stepping into your light. Stop being a fan. Step into your light, okay? Number 1, spell out your dream. Spell out your dream, say it and believe it. It's not enough to say, hey, I want to be the world's fastest marathon runner. You know, world's fastest female marathon runner. You need to do the work. It's not just going to show up. You need to do the work. And what I am so proud to be a Kenyan because, you know, we have Eliud Kipchoge, who's like world's fastest marathon runner. And this guy, I recently saw on Instagram that he's begun his training. He's already begun his training. He trains 2 years in advance. He does not train when he hears that the competition is about to start. Or he does not just show up because he's depending on his past success. He starts training for his next best performance 2 years in advance. So that when you see him finishing that marathon race, greeting people and smiling, and yet his other competitors, the other runners, as soon as they cross the finishing line, they're on the floor like mosquitoes, you know, like literally breathing, looking for breaths, struggling to breathe. That is when you see that ease at which he finishes the finishing line during that marathon. That is 2 years of training, ladies. That is 2 years of training. So it does not just come randomly like that. It comes with consistent training in advance for your next best self. So do you want to travel around the world? Do you want to speak on great stages? Do you want to build great wealth? Do you want to see yourself significantly contribute towards a cause? Realize that it does not just happen. Once you speak something to existence, you need to now put it into action. You need to now be consistent with working on it, and you need to actually believe that you can win. Because what's the use of getting into a race if you don't believe you're going to win, right? Number 2, take action. I think this is a word that I've been saying for my past videos. I've been saying it so much because also my coach has been drilling it into me this year. There are things he's really been drilling into me. Action. And number 2, about, what is it called? No, he's been telling me drilling, the action is number 1. Like, just take action, because once you take action, you can measure the data, you can know where you can improve, you know what went well, you know how well is it being received, you will know, is this my right platform? You will learn, basically. Even through the failures will turn into lessons. And then the second thing my coach has been teaching me quite a lot this year is to not be too attached to the process, but to commit to the goal, to commit to the vision and to the purpose, but to not be too attached to the process, to the how. That's been very tough because I'm a person who likes seeing the full process, but it's something that I am learning. So please take action and don't be too committed. Don't be too attached to the process. Allow yourself to unravel. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to evolve. Allow yourself to unlearn, to relearn, to learn something afresh, you know. So realize that as you take action, it doesn't have to be something big and ginormous, you know. You can just start small, take those small steps and keep them consistent. And then those small steps, one time you look back and you will realize, oh my goodness, look at where I'm at. That first step that you took of courage, of believing in yourself and taking a step forward into your future after you've made it known, that step, it actually builds the next steps. It builds momentum. One day you look back and you'll be like, oh my goodness, look at me. I'm standing in front of these amazing people on a giant stage. And it's all because I started with that simple step, okay? So it starts with small steps. So, whether this looks like, for example, my goal, I have a dream of building generational wealth as a woman. And so a small step could look like enrolling into an investment course, which I did earlier this year. It looks like starting a money markets fund. I started another one this year. It also could look like, building good money habits. For example, budgeting, starting to budget, starting to track my expenses on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, and then after a month, I analyze. Or thinking investing, instead of putting money under a mattress, or just putting money in a savings account, because savings account, the interest rate isn't too good. Thinking investing, so instead of putting my money in a savings account, putting my money in an investment account. And also just seeing myself as an investor, and starting to build behaviors and habits like an investor. Following up, the next time my bank has an AGM, me showing up for the AGM, because I'm an investor. I've been an investor since I was a teenager. And just following up. How do investors behave? How do they follow up on data? And taking every coin seriously, not seeing the small, the little numbers as too small, because those little numbers really add up with time. That's the power of investing. Is the compound interest and the compounding of all the money that you have. So those are some of the small steps that I've been taking towards building this huge dream of building generational wealth for me as a woman, because this means that this is money that outlasts me. This is money that will go into taking care of my children, and probably causes that I truly believe in and really, really care about. Okay? And 3, build an accountability tribe. So there's a time I posted on social media that having a coach, that there are many people who keeps saying that they don't have the time and money to afford a coach, yet they want to afford more time and make more money. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. For you can't say that you don't have this, and yet you can't afford this, yet you want this thing that this person can afford you, right? So what you will actually need to do is build accountability. There's somebody who commented and said that I trust myself. This person commented and said that, yeah, having a coach is nice, but the best coach you can ever have is yourself, because you trust your own instinct and where you'll go. And I'm like, listen, that is a big lie. That is not true. Because the whole purpose of getting a coach is for accountability from somebody who's an expert in something that you're not so good at, right? A coach is somebody who, like, you remember how I talked about Lisa Nichols? She has experienced that personal transformation herself to a point where her life is barely recognizable. This was a woman who was living on those checks welfare. She couldn't afford buying diapers for her son. She was in a broken relationship. Her then, was it husband, was in jail, was incarcerated in jail. He used to be violent towards her. She came from a family where there was a lot of poverty, and where the common word was that, oh wow, in our family, money burns holes through our pockets. And right now, she's one of the few women, she's actually one of the few women who are actually have black women with publicly listed companies in the US. And also, her company stands out as very unique because her company is about self-development. So she has I think at the time I listened to her video, I think it might have been at then the only self-development company that's publicly listed, in the US. And that's a huge deal. So how did she come from being this woman who's surviving on welfare to being this woman who's one of the very few black women in the US with a publicly listed company? She went through that transformation herself, but she did not depend on herself and her knowledge, because what she knew was not enough. It was limited. So she needed to surround herself consistently, show up in spaces where people know more than herself, where people are smarter than her, where people can challenge her to be better, where people can challenge the stories she was telling herself, about money, about her being black, about her being a woman, about her love story, I mean, she got engaged. Either she should be married by now to her love of her life. You see, she was able to turn around that story, and now her son has grown up, he's already married, and he's a chef. That same baby that she was struggling to buy diapers for, she has gone through that transformation because she surrounded herself with people who know better than her, with people who are more experienced than her, and with people who are keeping her accountable. So don't trust in your own knowledge. It is limited. And yes, sometimes you only know what you know. And the point of building an accountability tribe is for people to challenge you with knowing more than what you know, adding to the knowledge that you already have, but also challenging some of belief systems that you might have that are actually crippling you and keeping you from moving forward. And that's one of the things I love about working with my clients. If you'd like to learn more about the kind of work that I do, especially as a storyteller, please email me at info@letsfindyourstory.com, and I'll be more than happy to have a complimentary 45-minute clarity call, interview call with you, just so that we can actually gain clarity on what exactly is on the current storytelling challenge you're having on your journey as a woman in leadership. Okay, then we'll figure it out as, what does this look like as a project, or am I the right coach for you? But please always present yourself and plant yourself in rooms where people can challenge you to be better. Don't depend on your own wisdom or knowledge or understanding. Please break that cycle by expanding yourself. Expand yourself with more knowledge, with great accountability, and with people who are willing to pour into you, that you expand and become a better version of yourself. And that's exactly what I did to get where I am, right? I keep showing up in rooms that help expand me. So embrace the uncomfortable process that comes with growth. People think that growth is fun. Growth is not fun. Just think of yourself as a seed. Before you break through the soil, it's uncomfortable. The seed will probably be scarred and stuff like that, and it's not comfortable to grow. But guess what? Get uncomfortable with that. Get comfortable with the discomfort that comes with growth. Get comfortable with saying no. Get to the people who keep reminding you that that you can't do it. Get comfortable with distancing yourself from people who keep drawing you back to your old habits when you're trying to create new success habits. Get uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the discomfort of seeing yourself deny yourself some things so that your future self can have more. For example, denying yourself that junk food or that unhealthy stuff, and putting money to pleasure so that your future self can have more money for self-development. Your future self can have higher investments, higher interest rates coming through, So think about things like that, right? And also track your progress. The whole purpose of having accountability partners is that you're to tell them, hey, I'm going to be here, but have these check-ins with them. Also track your progress so that you can celebrate your small wins. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, but you need to celebrate those steps. Maybe once you make 10 steps, you're like, yay, let me look back and look at these 10 steps. Let me celebrate, I've made 10 steps, right? Like for me to reach to this place where my YouTube channel has around 225 subscribers, I needed to celebrate the first 10 subscribers I had. I was super excited, but if you can't celebrate the 10, then how will you be grateful? How will you cultivate that culture of gratitude when you're at maybe even 1,000? You need to celebrate the small wins, right? And also have people keeping you accountable and disciplined. The accountability partners could look like a mentor, it could look like a coach, it could look like maybe a friend. If your goal maybe is to be more to like self-presentation, either with regards to your fashion or with regards to whatever, you could have a friend who's really good at fashion and who really has been telling you that you could do better, you could do better with your wardrobe and the choices that you make. Then get that friend and tell that friend, hey, every month I want you to help me track how I've been showing up, how I've been pairing my outfit. Does the color look good? Does the textures look good? That friend I'm sure will be happy because you now this friend is keeping you accountable on something they're genuinely passionate about. But if it's something now more serious and that really goes into changing your habits and stuff, you now need a coach. If it's health and nutrition and fitness, you need a coach, a fitness coach or a nutrition coach. If you need, with regards to storytelling and building a new habit of storytelling, you need a storytelling coach like yours truly. Reach out to me, info@letsfindyourstory.com. If you want to build a habit within a specific amount of time, and this habit is a little bit more complex, you definitely need a coach. Or if it's a lifelong thing, please get, or a journey thing, like for example, you want to grow in your career, you want to grow as a mother, you want to grow in your faith, then get an accountability partner who's like a mentor, like maybe people who are in a marriage and they've built a marriage that espouses the values that you care about, then reach out to such people. Maybe it's a mentor, a career mentor, somebody who's built a career in a space that you're looking to get into, then get a mentor, right? So please realize that there are more people rooting for you than you think possible. Like, don't see yourself as the only lone ranger. There are people around you, but what you need to do is, first of all, recognize your dream, call it out, start working towards it, start building momentum, then reach out to accountability partners who can keep you accountable on this journey to become a better you, the best you ever. Then also always take action and build that momentum, be consistent, and build an accountability tribe at all levels, so that you can trust in, you can get wisdom, knowledge, understanding, insight beyond yourself. Just don't depend on yourself for these things, but beyond yourself. Allow yourself to expand through an amazing accountability tribe. Okay, so which of these points are you going to practice? Please comment below and let me know which of these steps you're going to take, so that you can stand in your light. Stop being a fan, step into your light, be the amazing, better version of yourself, because that's the greatest competition you have in this life. Yourself. You're competing with the person you were yesterday, so that you can become better. Okay, please comment below, let me know how whether you enjoyed this channel and which point you're going to actually practice. And remember, this is Let's with Ayuma, an online safe space that I started to empower progressive women just like you and I to thrive with purpose, and that includes stepping into our light and stop being fans of other people. Okay, so like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.